Spencer. We're swapped around again.
Huh?
We're swapped around again.
Yep, I know you do it on purpose.
Hey, y'all.
Afternoon, late night, whatever you want to call it.
I'm inside. It's about to storm like crazy here. I'm so disappointed.
I'm
I
telling
tried
you.
to stay in the doorway. Hopefully, y'all can see the lightning or whatever, but it may blow my computer away, so bear with me if it does.
Yeah, I've been watching it blow that fire back there that she had built. I mean, wind's been blowing bad.
See it's catching right from the door, but man, it was crazy here before.
Let me see if I can get over and see chat, maybe.
Hey, everybody. David, Steve, Billy, Wendell, River.
Look at that. River's in here.
Carl, just an old fart. I love that. Oh, gosh. Hey, we got some people with us. Donut Predator.
Yeah. Hey,
Look, guess who we got?
let's see. Bring them out. Look here.
Cracker of Death.
Cracker of Death. Watch him go.
Roger, I've been so disappointed that I didn't get to dress up. And when you come on and you was dressed up, I thought you was just joking. I love it. I'm just telling you, I love it because I didn't get to.
I'm telling you, I'm going to have to come up
Hear
with a costume. I'm going to go for the pirate look or something. I'm going to like split my beard and bring it out, put beads in it, give me some big hoop. I don't know if Wanda's got any big hoop earrings.
I can't find mine. I don't know what I did. I think I took them camping and lost them. Roger, can't hear you. Cracker, your voice is dead.
One of my favorite jokes was the lady come to the door and his little boy head dressed up like a pirate, like Greg said. She said, "Oh, what are you?" He said, "I'm a pirate." She said, "Where are you buccaneer?" She said, "On my bucket head."
Yeah.
This is Night Owls, right? Sorry, guys.
No, hold on. That's what well, thank you, Thomas.
Yes, sir. Man, look, hey, we got a surprise guest for everybody tonight, ain't we? Well, we got
sure
Roger.
do. I was going to say, let me bring them out because, if we're going to be laughing, she's definitely got to be in here.
Oh, yeah. There she is.
It's already started.
I'm sure y'all told it at the meet and greet that I didn't get to go to, and I didn't have a live feed for. Did everybody kind of tell how Erica and her husband and all of us met?
We did.
Okay.
We told on today's show.
Okay. So I was asleep. So
yeah.
Well, I had to mention you, Roger, because I said if it weren't for you, we wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
I have to thank you for that, Roger. Roger contributed more than Spencer does.
Roger's kind of like threw the hook out in the water, and when he seen the cork bump, bump a little bit, I told him set the hook.
That was a pretty wild date. That was the start of this hip because I stood Greg about 7 hours.
Yeah,
and that did me in. But anyway, it was a good time and met a lot of great people. And I'm glad to see y'all had fun at the meet and greet. I don't know if you knew what you're getting into, but the people are so real that what you see is what you get. They care about each other, and when one of them tells me, like, hey, I saw this or I heard that or whatever, you take it to the bank. And I don't know. I missed it, y'all. I really missed it. We saw all the pictures and how much fun everybody's having, and it just maybe we can be there next time.
Mm-hmm.
We missed Jens being there, Roger.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, a lot of craziness went on, but I mean, hell, we still had a good time.
So, Erica, what did you think? What did y'all think of the amount of people that showed up just to, tell stories and sing and just have fun?
I mean, I was surprised, I guess. I mean, that was our first one, and we were there for like less than 24 hours, unfortunately. But I was surprised at the amount of people. But from everything that Greg told us when we met y'all, I think that was the first week of August. Um, I'm not shocked. And I know that the community will grow. Like, everybody's so cool. Like, this is literally the coolest group I've ever known. It's amazing. Like,
Oh,
the most down to earth and real people that I've ever met in a group. I love it. So it was cool to see. But like I said earlier, we got kind of like a preview of it. It was a very short period of time that we were there. But everybody had a great time and everybody chipped in. It was just that kind of thing. I loved it.
You know what it reminds me of? I'm sorry.
no, I was just gonna say we was glad they made it because they had car trouble, and we had asked, and I said I didn't have signal, and I'd seen where you had posted, and I was like, has anybody heard from them? Because I can't even get signal to even try to message and see what's going on. And here's my computer.
You can blow away.
I hope not. But
Y'all remember?
Yeah, I was glad to see us make it.
Thank
what,
you.
What it reminds me of, y'all remember, which you can do it at Greg's, but nobody does this around here anymore. All of our families doing other things, but when you used to sit out back and talk around the fire, sit on the porch, and just talk about stuff and chill out. And when we do these shows, this chat, that's what it reminds me of. And I didn't know what to expect when I went over to the Wild Man thing, but I heard some really good stories. I got to tell some stories, and that's the main thing with all of this. Out in the woods and doing so-called research or whatever, that's fun for people, but the I guess the getting together and being around people that are like-minded, because we're all got a little weird stuff going on. With none of us, and we can talk about most of it without being good. Yeah, so that, I guess, that's my law. And Erica, y'all, Greg will tell you, once I get started, they have to shut me up or turn my mic off. So I'm sorry. And I haven't done this in a while. So.
You talk all you want, Roger. That's why we invited you.
Did y'all invite me or did I invite myself? I can't remember.
Little both, but it's all right.
I'm like, y'all doing a show? Send me a link.
I'm just kidding. You did, and I was going to ask you anyways.
Roger, I like your costume. I like your makeup.
Thank you.
That's pretty cool.
Well, what I told him, I did a little live on my show before I come on and invited everybody over. And I'm like, yeah, I'm in a basement. Heather gives me water every 3 hours, and she's been kicking my cane out from under me. Y'all, please help. Somebody help. And Wendell will be here in about 2 hours, probably.
The Wendell's on it, let me tell you.
no fun, brother.
And I guarantee it, he's wearing that badge and them daggone suspenders.
Yeah. I ain't got Wendell in a while, and I miss it, but I owe him one. Y'all, he scared the teetotal shit out of me at Holland's Hunter Camp. If you see him in the chat, go, run, Roger. Me and another guy went back out there in the dark, pitch dark, and I had a 2200 lumen flashlight, and I said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back over the guys, really quiet, and what we're going to do is I'm going to hit this flashlight and see if we can catch something in that back corner. That sounds like a good idea. Wendell's behind me, and I didn't know it. And turn the light on, and he screams out, run. And I almost dropped the flashlight, scared the crap out of him, and he's laughing. It was a good one, but I owe him. Yes.
Hey, what it is, Wendell watched Forrest Gump too many times. Run, Roger, run.
Well,
Did the braces fly off your legs, Roger?
well, I told him. Here's what I told him. After I calmed down, I said, Wendell, I might not be able to run fast, but I can outrun you.
Oh,
Roger was up there slinging that damn cane.
I was tripping. Now I see y'all gave him a badge.
Yeah. Hey, he not only had a badge, Roger, he had a damn rape whistle.
Oh, has he got a fan belt in karate?
I'm not sure.
Oh God, Misty's gonna start it.
We done crashed and burnt. We'd even started.
Hey, look, we're just getting warmed up.
Yeah,
I'm warm. That's all right. Oh,
well, I had my uncle had a junkyard and he did really well with it. But one time he got feeling his oats. He's an older guy, and these guys were hell. They go around and buy cars, and they had thousands of dollars with them. And he jumped out there and accused them of stealing. And so one of them popped him in the nose, beat him up, and then so his son-in-law had to break it up and all. We were just cutting up, and that's where the fan belt come from. I wrote up a thing where he had a like a Plymouth hubcap as a badge, the little small, he had a fan belt and karate, and then it was a lot more. I can't remember what it was.
Oh my God.
But he was junkyard security. He was chief of junkyard police. That's what he was.
Oh,
He let Bill beat up. But
hey, I'm gonna tell you, Wendell done a hell of a job. Now he walked. I bet Wendell walked more last weekend than he's walked the last 3 years combined.
you know what? We need a what do you call it? One of those reality TV shows. Call it Wendell Watch.
Hey, I'm telling you, brother. Wendell was like the eye in the sky. He ain't nothing going. Wendell didn't say.
Literally, them big tall trees. I'd be looking up to see if he was up. Placing the cameras. Bird's eye view.
I was let down this time, Roger. He didn't. Well, I didn't say Wendell going nowhere barefooted this time.
Did he?
No.
It's too dangerous.
Them daggone things was crawling up on John's leg. I'd be damned if I didn't wear shoes.
Well, hell, you step on one of them pine cones, that's bigger than my head. I wouldn't want to be walking around barefoot either. I ain't never seen nothing like that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wendell said he needs a drone. No, you don't, Wendell.
No, I know what you'd be doing with that drone. We'd have to shut our curtains.
Steve, we do what we can, brother. We do what we can. Hey, look, anybody that was at the meet and greet, I guarantee you they're going to tell you that this is me and Misty live all the time. This just us.
Like Turtle Man, live action.
Yep, live action. No doubt. Y'all, look, I had the best time. I mean, it was like the National Lampoon's camp out there for a minute, but hey, we made the best out of it. Shit.
We went to bed, about daylight? I guess.
Oh.
It was
Y'all
horrible.
slept about like it is when you're at home.
Yeah, it is. That's about right. That's about my normal sleeping time.
Hey,
I think one of the highlights for me is Greg and I sharing surgery stories.
Oh,
around the
no.
campfire.
We could absolutely have a Halloween show on that, can't we?
Absolutely.
that's a couple of things you get old.
Better
You
don't.
get-
Hey, Ted, you might as well get Erica and scoot over and just join the club.
Yes. Yes. Hey, speaking of Erica, you or Greg or Roger, who wants to go first on telling you stories? Because look, I don't have a story like you guys got. Only thing I can tell you is I keep dropping a plug in the water and nothing happens. So that's all I got for you. Oh.
What kind of story?
How in the world you ain't dead? I don't know. It's just the grace of the good Lord. There ain't nobody I know that takes something that's plugged into a wall into the bathroom and lets it fall in the bathtub with them and soak with electronics and they don't get fried.
Yeah, she told us one time, oh no, my laptop, once I dropped it in the tub. I'm like,
Oh,
I
that's
picked it up and
scary.
it's running water out of it. I'm literally watching it in the tub, underwater, watching TV.
Now, tell me how.
Oh, God.
It doesn't blow a fuse or anything. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
That's just the Lord saying, "Hey, it ain't time yet."
I told Greg, I said, "My
Here's a
freaking
free
guardian
pass."
angels,
yeah.
they must hate me. Like, they're probably chain smokers, alcoholics.
I didn't realize that squirrels had like 19 lives.
I told you, I die all the time. All the time.
Mm.
That's
Just a
crazy.
second.
Yeah. I mean, it's to the point that if we're texting, she's like, I'm about to go get in the tub. I'm like, please don't let whatever drop in the tub. You're going to
Holy, there may be a tornado coming through.
die.
I was going to look at the weather. I don't think it'll do anything.
East Tennessee's got some nice storms headed that way.
Misty,
Oh
is
yeah,
it
we're
getting
getting
rough
them right
there?
now. It's not started raining or nothing yet, but that's
Maybe
the
by
wind
the-
I'm getting.
By the radar, it looked like maybe some of it was going to split and go around more Misty's at.
Probably
Okay.
never rains here.
Yes, Chad, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. My baby, Abby, she just commented on there and said, thank you for the rocks you brought. She's like a rock hound.
Awesome. I see. Okay, that's awesome. She could have taken as many as she wanted. I have buckets full, and it's not something that could be. And like I told her, I was like, here's a cheat sheet if you want to take it for a school project.
Oh, Lord. Hey,
All the info's there.
the back of my truck had the rocks like you got, or she got from you, rocks she found, pine cones, sticks, random stuff. It was like a little pile in the back of my truck to bring home.
Oh,
Yeah. That's cool.
yeah, it was surprising. When Chad was like, "Hey, I'm going to take the horn coral and I'll take these geodes just to see," and he was like, "I think maybe if there are kids there, obviously Abby was going to be there, but the kids there might be interested." And I loved that as many adults were so
That's
interested
what I was
in
going
it.
to say. Look, I mean, the
Yes.
adults were fascinated. I mean,
Mhm.
they were.
I love rocks.
Yes.
I do for some reason. I don't know where that comes from. Actually, when we were little, we didn't have anything to do. So in the creeks, we found odd rocks and arrowheads. And, me being a pack rat, I probably gathered some stuff that cursed me for the rest of my life. I don't even know. Like, no, don't touch that. That's too late.
Well, we don't know any
I've
better.
actually had a fist fight in a creek. There's like ankle deep over a really pretty arrowhead.
Hmm.
So I didn't win. I don't have it. I don't know where it went.
Doesn't Greg have a collection of arrowheads?
Yeah, I've got several. I've got some shadow boxes that's full. Yeah.
Wow.
We've looked for artifacts basically my whole life. I mean, we've got rock bluffs that's on our farm or my mom and dad's farm, and I've got property that's got big bluffs on it. And we'd get in there and dig and found a lot of them just like where we farmed. We'd walk fields and find them. Yeah, I've got some stuff that to me is museum quality.
Mhm. That's amazing.
It's not enough that it stays in a gun safe. Let's put it that way. I mean,
finding an arrowhead is something like really high on my list. If I could find one of those, it'd be amazing. But usually, I live somewhere, like I had a condo. You don't really find too many arrowheads around there.
yeah,
We did have a lot of woods and stuff around us at the time, but the Indian activity wasn't big around there. Now that we're in Tennessee, though, it might be a little bit, more.
well, I'll tell you what. If like, I don't know exactly where y'all are at in Tennessee, but it looks like y'all are kind of out in the country. If you can make friends with a neighbor that's a farmer, especially if they got a field along a creek, when they plow, if they still do, now if they're doing the no-till plow where they just kind of they spray everything, it kills the grass, and then they just put the seed straight in the ground and don't bust the dirt up, it's kind of hard. But if you can find somebody that's still doing the till farming where they disc it, if you can go make buddies with them and hey, I've traded out labor with farmers help them with cattle, help them round their farm and do stuff. And they would let me, walk their fields. Oh, brother, it's amazing. If you can get around especially a creek or a river, if it makes like a horseshoe part, if their field goes out into that point, oh man, it's unreal. Now, if you go after a rain and the rain will wash the dirt off of the artifacts.
Right.
And it takes you, if you could come and go like with me and walk, and I could show you what to look for, because you're not looking for an artifact. You're looking for just something that's shiny. And most of the stuff that the chert, the flint, whatever, that stuff is, after it washes it, it'll be slick looking. It'll look like a piece of glass that's colored, but it just looks out of place. And once you get to where you can see it, man, I've spotted arrowheads from like 40 feet. You just
Wow.
see it's a certain thing that you have to train your body to look for. But once you get the knack of it, you'll be surprised. And dude, I carry a stick with me. And if I see something I'm talking about that looks like a piece of flint or something as big as a match head, don't never walk by it and say, well, that's just a flake.
Gotcha.
Because I've had spots, no joke. I would have something that would look like no bigger than the tip of a match. And I'd reach down with my finger and go to move it, and it wouldn't budge. And you'd start raking around it, and the deeper you dug around it with your finger, it kept getting bigger. And dude, I pulled out spear points like 5-6 inches long, and it would just be the very tiny sliver of an edge is all you would see. And that's the reason. And every time that I find a piece of one, a broke one, or anything that's just, I label it flint because that's what most of them here are. I always take and put it in my pocket, or I'll carry a little pouch with me. And that way I don't have to recheck it the next time I walk. You know what I'm saying? I get it all up. And Wanda, in our basement, Wanda has got a big old clay pot. This thing's like 3 feet across and probably 2 feet deep. That thing's like half full of flint pieces and broke arrowheads and quarter pieces, I call them heartbreakers because they're broke. And even a broke one, that it was handled by a human how many thousand years ago, and they may even broke it when they were using it. They may have been trying to kill game with it when they broke it. So it's still, and if you've got the base part of it, you can still usually, you can identify it as to maybe a tribe or a certain era of when it was that style or type was being made. And dude, I'm telling you, that's a thing that you can do. You talking about habit forming. It's absolutely unreal to find an artifact that that odds are really great that you're the first human to lay hands on it since the dude that made it or used it.
Hey Greg, it's been a very long time since I've seen any, but doesn't it kind of look like slate the way?
So look, here we get, and see, that's another thing. A lot of the material that was used to make artifacts, and I'm talking about spear points, knives, arrowheads, whatever. That stuff was like barter goods. It was traded amongst different tribes, and stuff could have been carried and swapped and changed hands and traveled hundreds or thousands of miles to it. Like from there's stuff here that could, like the only place you can find that material may be in Texas, or it may be Arizona, or it may be from the Great Lakes area. And then some of the stuff that's from here in the South, they find it there. So this stuff was like a trade good that tribes would trade, and it would go to different places. But here we find a lot of, it'll be like a dark gray or a light gray. And then we find some that is anything from light red to like a blood red. And we find light blue and dark blue. And we do find some that's quartz. I've got a few quartz pieces that you can hold up to the sunlight and the light will come through. So, it's just all kind of different material, but that material has to come from somewhere else, from, other than where I'm at and where I'm finding them. And it may be some of that material comes out of Georgia, but, I'm 150 miles from Georgia. It didn't just float over here. It had to be traded or brought with the people here.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt about the horn coral I brought. Is was I the first person in 250 million years that's, picked up that horn coral?
Yeah.
Because and I was like, that's to me why I collected it. I was like, this is too cool. And so the arrowheads, yeah, that's something I want to find. That would be really cool.
Let me ask y'all a question.
All right.
I know Greg, we're a lot alike, y'all. Going to like yard sales and sales and the little shops, that for the older stuff, whatever. But anyway, I've always felt just like you just mentioned. If I, for example, I found a bottle in this little shop in Fayetteville, Tennessee. It was from Japan. It was a whiskey bottle that they only sold over there back in the 60s. And I'm like, how did this thing get here? Somebody drank it, obviously, whatever. That's what I do. If I find an arrowhead, it's not it's kind of like paying a respect thing, but it's also, you think about that last person.
Yeah.
That I feel a connection sometimes to some of this stuff. Is that, you think that's why we gather it up and we, what I mean? I've never, like I said, I have interest. I don't know where they come from.
Well, to me, Roger, look, I got it. I've got red hair and I'm pasty white. I had Native American blood from the Creek and the Cherokee tribe both in my lineage, and a lot of people here, it's the same way. It's like their great grandmothers. A lot of them were full-blooded Cherokee or Creek or whatever. And it descended down to us, which we're a watered down version, but still I look at, I do have native blood in me, and I look at it that, that's part of where I came from. And it just overwhelms me a lot of time because I get to wondering, about the dude that chipped that thing out, what he had to do to get it, what he had to do to make it, what he was trying to kill with it, or how he was going to use it to keep living, and people now, they watch stuff like Survivor, man, and they're amazed that somebody can make it in the woods for 3 days, or a week. Well, them people done it from birth till death. They, that was the way they lived.
Yeah, now it's easier because there's a Dollar General every other 2 miles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, people now, if their power's off for 2 days, they're freaked out. But, those people, you talking about tough, man. Those people they were absolutely just look back at what people have done and how innovation has made life so much easier.
Real quick on that, I have to say, my granny is 99 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I just talked to her earlier today. She's amazing.
Awesome.
But she did not have electricity until she was like 16 years old. And then, like, way back when, I remember talking to her, and it was years later that she had her first hair dryer. And it's like the things that we are used to. But we were talking about it earlier, and she was like talking about, it wasn't long after she first got married, and they, had just still been getting used to having electricity and then a microwave, and like learning how things went so much faster. And it was so cute to hear her talk about that.
No technology.
Oh, yeah. Well, like my grandparents, if my Aunt Debbie's in here, she can probably tell you, it was on up in probably the 60s before my grandparents had indoor plumbing or had a bathroom in the house.
Mm-hmm.
It just, that's the way things was.
Mm-hmm.
We're all close to, I'm old, we're close to the same age, but we've been around people that have told us stories, or I used to go visit family that had hardly anything, dirt floor here and there. The outhouses weren't being used at the time, but they were there.
Yeah.
My son, somebody asked him a question here a couple years ago about why he, I don't want to say prep or whatever, but he put stuff back.
Yeah.
He said, I've never, he's 27. He said, I've never seen hard times, but I know people who have, and I hear those stories, and it would have been a whole lot easier if you just had a little extra this or that put back, and my grandmother, both grandmothers, one she told about the first time she ever saw an airplane. Both of them lived through the their young depression, and that's the main thing. They might not have had a whole lot of money, but their freezers were full. Their cabinets were full of food. If you got food and water, you can and shelter, you can dig in for a while, right? That was their biggest fear, not being able to eat because they were hungry when they were little. Well,
Roger, I had an older man tell me, he's dead and gone now. He's been dead about 3 or 4 years. But this guy came up during the Depression, and I knew this guy really well. And he told me what scared him or really worried him, I guess, was, he said now the way people had changed. If we went through something really like the Depression was, where it was that hard, people were sure enough hungry, they didn't have nothing, couldn't get nothing. He said what got him, he said now the way people had changed, that back during the Depression, people had enough pride and they had enough gumption about them, I guess would be the word, that they would go by a store or a warehouse full of stuff and they knew that it didn't belong to them, and they were honorable enough that they just did without. And he said people have lost that. He said now if it gets that bad, he said stores will be broke into, warehouses will be looted, and stuff be stole. He said that's the difference now, and that's how things have changed. And that was his opinion, and I agree with it.
And that I'm sorry, Greg, and that's why you never tell anybody the stuff that you stock or store, because people are bad these days. Well,
So
will possibly be as bad. Yes.
yeah.
Sorry, Greg.
But that was, look there. Verby said they put in a bathroom in 1961.
Wow.
Put it in on her birthday. Look at there. I knew it was. I thought it was in the 60s. So, but y'all, I know of churches. There's a church not far from here. They still don't have a bathroom in the church. They got an outhouse now. It's a new one, and I got a two-holer. But they've got an outhouse. They still do not have a bathroom in the church.
Can you imagine sitting around and say, "Oh, we got a new bathroom. I can't wait till I got to pee." I'll be the first one to use it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Mark had porta potties brought in at the meet and greet.
Yeah,
and
the color coded,
because I told him, I said, I'm gonna make signs. I said, I'm literally putting men's and women's, and JR's like, how you think people's get? Well, I didn't have to, because there was a blue one and a pink one. Well, I made so many friends in the bathroom, it wasn't even funny.
Oh Lord.
In the bathroom?
I think Misty would sit down and put her hand on the wall, like for support.
Were they leaving like tags on the wall on paper of like, "Hey, call me Misty"?
No.
Y'all, I'm horrible. I got no shame. I can't help it. It's just the way I am. And
So I wonder if she didn't want to cut holes from one to the other where they could hold hands.
Spencer Dunn went in there, and I was sitting there because most people don't talk when they're in the bathroom or don't leave the door open or whatever. Hey, look, I'm a giver, I'm a sharer, so
when I was there, I had to go on the other side of Flat Rock.
You're so fucking weird.
When we were there, Flat Rock was the last tent out to the field. I told him when I came back, I said, "Hey, I went over beside a tree beside you." He said, "That's fine." But we didn't have any bathrooms.
Roger, yeah. It just hit me. I got something I got to share with you.
Uh-oh.
Look, this tops the Roger Williams celebrity stories. And I told her, I said, look, I've got to share this. So look, you've told me this. I got to tell everybody. And she starts dying laughing. But somebody that we know and we love dropped a bombshell on me the other night. We were talking, and she's like, she pulls the Roger Williams. She just like throws us into the conversation like she's talking about it's cloudy or the sun shining, like it wasn't nothing. And I went, whoa, hit rewind a minute and go back over what you just said. And she's like, what? I said, you used to date who? All right, look, I'm talking to a sister to us. And she throws in the casual conversation because she was telling me about Mark Newble's dad passing, and it was in bad shape. And the conversation, we talked about that. And then she goes, yeah, I said, growing up, she lived in Jackson, Mississippi, and, for a lot of her life. And then she said, yeah. Said, I guess the most interesting dude I ever dated was probably Kiefer Sutherland. And I went, what? She said, what? I said, whoa, back up. Who? Kiefer Sutherland. I'm like, Donald Sutherland's the actor. Yeah. Whoa. You can't just throw that down and move along. We got to back up. We got to break this shit down. And she's like, yeah, I met him in a bar. He like bumped me and knocked me down and helped pick me up. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, he was super nice though. And she's like, I cussed him out for knocking me down. And then after he walked off with his head down, she said, I looked at my friend and said, that asshole kind of looked like Kiefer Sutherland. And he goes, what's called it was? She's like, what? Yeah, they're here filming a movie. They were filming that A Time to Kill. And then she goes to drop the damn Roger Williams usual bomb of, oh yeah, I dated him for about 3 months. And then I got to meet Sandra Bullock and Samuel L. Jackson and blah, blah, blah. What?
Wow.
She's like, it was so cool. So we dated about 3 months and they quit filming and we broke up. I'm like, oh my God. So
Wow.
yeah,
I know who you're talking about now, though.
Tiffany, throw your ass under the bus, girl.
Hey, Greg, this story would have only been cooler if you told the story like you were Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh my God. I can pull that off.
Lots of motherfuckers in there.
Yeah. Look, I got too much in a redneck. I can't do it.
But it's got to be in the Snakes on a Plane voice.
Yes.
I'm these mother snakes on a plane.
So to tie in with that, Sandra Bullock has a house or condo or did at Tybee Island, Georgia, which is where we were married.
Oh wow.
Been there. That's cool.
Tybee?
It's cool. It's such a chill like beach spot. It's so at least when we were there, it was earlier on. Kind of more like it was in April, so it was a little cool there, but it might be crazy in the summer. I don't know, but it was a nice, relaxing beach spot.
There's a cool fact about Tybee Island. You go to leave, you might not be able to if the tide's up.
Yes, I think that's Highway 80.
80. Yep.
It leads from Savannah to Tybee Island, which is crazy. If anybody can ever go there, it's so cool. Because it's like two separate worlds so close together, like 20 miles or 20 minutes apart.
That's where my dad's from.
Really?
Mhm.
It's Savannah is this beautiful, like dark beauty kind of. It's amazing. But so yeah, that highway there. If the tide comes in, if it's storming, you can get stuck on the island. So you got to plan for that.
Yep. They told us that if you leave, make sure you plan it, when the tide's not in because the road's underwater. Could be.
Right. Exactly.
No, I'm not a fan of that shit. No, Greg don't want to get No, me and old self likes to be able to travel.
Oh. All right, so look, we got way off topic.
All right.
There's a topic?
Hey.
There's supposed to be.
All right, well, look.
You know how it happened. Look, hey, I just went and broke my rocks out and everything. I got so damn sidetracked. I was good.
Yes, Michael X. Heather's been.
Get your rocks out.
She's got me locked in a basement and won't let me out.
No. Hey, Roger, please tell me she's going, it puts the lotion on the skin.
Yep, I done went through a few bottles of Jergens.
I don't know. I got to figure out what I'm going to do for a costume. I don't know.
Oh.
I want to see.
I'm going everyday apparel as a redneck.
What is it?
Misty, what was the topic, Misty? I didn't see we had a topic.
Well,
How'd you cheat the Reaper?
What?
How you cheated the Grim Reaper?
Oh, me?
your
Yeah.
death experiences. Yeah. We'll see earlier
Oh,
today on the
yeah.
show. Erica
Oh,
and
that's great.
Chad was actually on the show today. And she was talking about she had a near death experience, and
Yeah.
so
I've got too many. I shouldn't be sitting here to tell you the truth.
Brother, I've had a pile.
Yeah.
except for me.
I don't know which one to. I got one that I tell, and sometimes I kind of break down about it, but because what happened. But I'll save that one for later. But Erica, who wants to go first?
Well, I don't mind going first. That's fine. I don't. I mean, I don't know how much detail you want me to go into.
You're welcome to say whatever or
Okay.
whatever you don't want to. So
Okay. So,
you don't have to. You don't have to watch what you say.
okay, come back.
Right here.
Okay. So, okay, my story. I don't want to tell too much because I will go into detail, but I'll try to tell the story and y'all can ask me questions if you want. But so when I was 16, I was working at a grocery store, and a coworker of mine, I wouldn't even say we were friends. We were just coworkers. And he had I think it was a Malibu.
Yep.
Chevrolet Malibu, like 60s, 70s,
No,
something.
it was 70s.
70s. And he had some work on it, and then I think he had like the engine replaced. I mean, he had some big work done on it. Finally got it back. Hey, you want to go for a ride? Whatever. And it was like, okay, that's cool. And this was May 18th of 2000. And I'm like, okay, this was a Thursday. And I'm like, okay. I wasn't working that night, but I met him at the grocery store. And we get in the car, and like 2 days before, I bought my first car. Like, I had been working for nearly a year and finally bought my first car. Park it there, get in with him, and I'm like putting my seatbelt on. He's like, oh, don't worry, it doesn't work. I'm like, what? And so I still tried to put it in, but it didn't click, so it didn't work. So on we go, and there I remember getting stopping on the other side of town. This was in McMinnville, and he loaded up with gas. He filled up, and then we took off from there. And I really don't remember much from there. It was That was Thursday, in the evening, and then the next thing I remember was waking up in the hospital.
Wow.
And that was a Saturday. And so from what I'm told, that's what I'm going to say, because I don't remember the accident at all. The things that I remember are being in the vehicle and seeing, like, we were on a 2-lane kind of country road, if you want to say, but it was a state highway. But I remember seeing the light flashing through the trees. Like, I remember like that kind of scene. I don't remember. He was the driver, I was the passenger. I don't remember anything about that, but I can tell you it completely changed my life. Like, as a passenger, and the older I get, it's harder for me to be a passenger in the vehicle.
Yeah.
I don't know how fast we were going. I don't remember these things, but from what I'm told, so I've talked to the state trooper who wrote the report and did all the measurements and everything to figure out like what happened. And I've talked to other people along the way. Again, it was McMinnville, Tennessee, so it was a pretty small town, but we were out in the country. Anyway, so from what I'm told, we were traveling on this 2-lane road, and I wasn't familiar with the road, but I've since been on it, and it is very hilly, and where we went down the hill. At the bottom of the hill was a bridge. They've since redone the road, so it's different now. But down the road, and then bridge at the bottom, up the hill, and then the road curves to the left. And from what I'm told, the tire went off the right side of the road, and then getting back on the road, he overcorrected and it flipped end over end 2 to 3 times. And obviously I wasn't wearing my seatbelt, but I don't think she was in the beginning anyway.
You also, the police officer told her what?
Well, hold on. So, from their estimate, we were traveling 80 to 120 miles per hour
Oh wow.
on this 2-lane road, downhill, uphill, around the curve. Like I do not recall any of that stuff. But obviously, and so he said we flipped end over end. I have pictures. The windshield was busted out, but he said we both flew out the passenger side window, I think is what it was. But we ended up on either side of the road. We didn't end up on the same side of the road. We were in different ditches. And so one of the things I said on the show today was, somebody had passed us and they were like, obviously this person's driving erratically. And when the paramedics got there, they found him. And she's like, no, there's a girl there. There was a passenger, there was a girl. And then they found me in the other side of the ditch. And when they found me, I did not have a heartbeat. And they used the defibrillator on me. And so I was revived. And then I was in a coma until Saturday. So Saturday is when I woke up. And it was so hard. It was such a long road. I mean, long, long, long road. Years. I had a traumatic brain injury. He did too. He had a worse brain injury than I did. He was on more specialized care. I had broken vertebrae. He had a broken collarbone. We had different issues as a result. But he's fine. He's made it. He's fine. And, I can tell you it's been a very long road with memory. The traumatic brain injury, I can go into a lot of detail on that, but I won't right now. But it's been a crazy road, and I'm just thankful to be where I am today. It's crazy.
The impressive part for me was hearing this story when we first started dating and she told me everything. While she was she got her associate's degree afterwards, then she got her bachelor's degree in criminal justice. It's like her telling me that all these brain injuries that she's now finally starting to have confidence and like overcoming the brain injuries. Like forever she couldn't remember what she would read and all these other things. And that to me is like I couldn't even imagine that. Couldn't even imagine that.
Yeah. It's the other crazy thing though is my grandpa, I never met him. He passed away in it would have been the 1960s. Probably around 1960. He passed away as the result of a car accident. It was on like a connecting highway, which is kind of crazy. Like to me, it kind of seems like maybe he was looking over me. I don't know. But very ironic, I would say.
Wow.
That's
How
what I
long
was
did you?
asking her too, Stacy.
Yeah. How long did you wind up having to stay in the hospital?
I was in the hospital for a full week. That was the last week of my junior year of high school. And my brother was a senior that year. And so, like, that was a Thursday. That Saturday was going to be prom. So my brother was going to prom then. And the driver of the vehicle, he was a senior. And I guess, I don't know if he was going to prom or what, I would assume. But, and so that was that weekend that I was in the hospital, and then the following weekend was high school graduation. And my, I was out that following Thursday, so I was able to go to my brother's graduation that Saturday. And I have pictures from that, and you can see like all the road rash and everything, all the scabs. But there's one picture where you can see like bruising still
Wow.
down like right before my ear here, and it's crazy. But it helped with those events being there for me to kind of
You were in a wheelchair and a back brace, right?
I was in a wheelchair for the graduation.
And a back brace, or not a back brace, but a neck brace?
I had a back brace. My parents made the best decision that they could. Obviously, I couldn't speak. And they decided to have me not do the back surgery for my broken vertebrae and do a back brace. So I had that. That was in May, and I had that till definitely July. That whole summer I was in bed most of the time. That summer before my senior year, I was in bed most of the time and in pain most of the time. But yeah, long road, but.
Well, you'd never know it. I mean,
No.
if you didn't say anything, you'd never know it by talking to you or even looking at you. I mean, your speech, everything is great.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm proud of you. You've done good.
Thank you.
That just shows that the Lord works miracles.
But his wife, Angie, she had a real bad motorcycle accident and wound up pretty much the same way. So, yeah, you have a lot in common on that.
Wow.
Yeah, and I tell people, I'm like, you won't catch me on a motorcycle.
We hung out back in Dayton. We hung out at a biker bar all the time. Became friends with everybody, and they're always like, "When you getting your Harley? When you getting your Harley?" It's like I'm not. I've seen way too many of you guys go down, and I've seen too many friends end up in the hospital. I like speed, and I know I like speed and the occasional, drink. So if like not work well together, and it'd just be stupid for me to do that.
I'm so, again, it gets worse with age for me. Like being a passenger in a vehicle, I don't care if you're like a driving instructor. It doesn't even matter. Like there's so many other factors that I just can't do it. So with all of that around me, I definitely cannot be on a motorcycle and be secure. Like,
I mean,
it's
really,
just not in the cards for me.
really, honestly, I mean, that it's just a form of PTSD. Is exactly what it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. We drove. Well, we didn't drive. We went to 2 weeks before, 2 or 3 weeks before the meet and greet. We went to Panama City, Florida, which for us is what, 9 hours. She drove the whole way. And then the only reason is she's one of those people that'll be like in the passenger seat looking at her phone or reading something, and I'll be driving, but if she looks up and there's brake lights on, she flips out. And I totally get it. But it scares the shit out of me. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do?
Right. Me and JR was screaming at each other on the way home because he was riding in the passenger side and I was trying to watch. I knew what was going on. And I'm like, stop being a damn backseat driver. You just stay in your lane. I'm watching.
There's very few people. Very few people I trust.
Your ass. I'm like, I got to get over.
Yeah.
Very few people I trust to ride
I
with.
do the same way if I'm riding over there. It makes me nervous if I'm not driving.
Oh God,
Roger, she's the same way. There's very few people that we went to Nashville with a couple to watch some band play.
A little south of Nashville. It was 3 hours to get there.
The guy was a great driver.
Yes.
He actually did the speed limit in the slow lane. I'm like, okay, this will work for Erica. I look back and she's staring at her phone, texting like this behind her phone.
I keep myself occupied because I can't. It's bad. But like, and no matter how many times I tell myself, I don't have the perspective of the driver, and I respect that. I'm trying to trust them. Oh my God, it doesn't matter how many times I tell myself that. Like, it's just different.
I
No.
couldn't
So-
imagine in your situation.
Oh God.
So go ahead.
No, you said it was south of Nashville.
Franklin.
Yep, it was front. Yeah, I'm not far
Yeah.
from there. I'm about 30.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey Roger, I'm going to in early December. I'm going to Lynchburg. I know that's
Yep. You're not
closer to you, but
you're not. No, you're not too far. You know how local places seem closer than they are. Well, I've been to Lynchburg so many times. I think me and Heather came through. We stopped at the grocery store over at Woodard's. I think Tuesday. But yeah, my son works over there. He's got some. He works for a company that works with the Jack Daniels company, and they go on the old. Greg and Misty know this, but they've had some paranormal stuff happen inside those old barrel houses, and there'll be 4 or 5 witnesses at the same time. So it's not like one person. That's some
wow.
freaky. Yeah, Lynchburg.
I'm going with my best friend to Miss Bobo's whatever restaurant. I guess they have a special Christmas meal kind of thing we're gonna do.
So okay, so I'll take us into this. So I asked her one night, being goofy probably, if she ever wanted to do a Ouija board. She said, "No way, ever, no way."
No.
But that got me to the point where I'm like, "Well, you've almost passed away, near death experience. Have you had any issues with your near death experience?" And it wasn't until she lived with me, which I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but please continue your story.
Real quick, I've had 2 encounters, if you want to say, but back where we lived around Dayton, Ohio, we lived in a condo, and it was a very kind of open concept. And anyway, the kitchen area, like you would go through like the front door, main hallway, living room, kitchen. And right around that corner right there, one time, I wasn't even expecting anything. This was just a normal day. And one time, right at our kitchen, it's kind of like the counter area, but then a taller section, so we would call it a bar. There were 3, I would say, kids. I mean, they were shorter, and there were 3 of them, and I didn't see any features other than it looked like 3 kids, and it was black. And this was just like a split second. The other time was right as you turn that corner, and there was like a man, black, with that hat, that
Like
Everybody,
I can't remember what it's
the
called.
Hat Man or whatever it is. Yeah.
It was like that, black, and each of these were just like a split second, out of the corner of my eye. I've never had any other encounters. I've gone on different things than Chad has gone on for like haunted stuff. Like that stuff's cool to me. I fear that it will follow me. I don't want that. But but I'm still interested in he's way more courageous than me when it comes to that stuff. Like the place in Louisville.
Oh, Waverly Hills.
But those are my only 2 encounters. I don't have any other details or stories or anything.
that's more than I want to have.
Yeah.
I just throw that out there.
We
My
should
mom-
definitely go do something like that. I'm so in to do it. We went to Pressman's home, which you're not supposed to do. But
Oh God.
There's
That's
several.
yeah,
There's several.
place, let me
Go.
tell you.
Red Bowling Springs. Is it the Thompson? What is that place? That old hospital. Not the hospital / like hotel in Red Bowling Springs. It's been on several TV shows.
Okay.
We talked to the owner's wife, and one of the shows had been there, and she showed a picture on her phone where they had taken a picture, but in the mirror, you could see through whatever was in the mirror. You could see through it. I don't know if they figured out how to do this illusion or whatever. But she said, "That's my sister," but she had died 6 months before, and I'm like, going in this place.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
I said, and I'm like, does that comfort you or does that scare you? She said, no, it comforts me. And I'm like, shit.
Oh wow.
That's what I say. Scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. My dad, go ahead.
Oh no. It's a different topic.
Erica, did you mean hooded shadow thing?
No, not hooded.
No, she's.
It's like a hat, like a Quaker hat.
If anybody knows any paranormal thing, they talk about the shadow or the hat man. I believe it's the hat man that people see. And when she described it to me, I was like, yeah, let's not even talk about this shit.
I can't remember what it's called.
Well, I've always wondered, I've had stuff happen throughout my life, and at one time I prayed like for God to take this. I said, I don't want this. I don't know what it is. I don't like it. I've had a few things, several things happen, and it went away for a while. And I don't know whether I've talked to friends like, if we talk about this stuff, whether it's, the Bigfoot stuff and at night, and we hear stuff, is it Bigfoot or is it some of the stuff we've been talking about? You know what I mean? That, I don't know. My dad, you were talking about being in the hospital a few weeks before he passed away. He had surgery 2 years before, and they said they had to bring him back, but he waited really late. He said, we were by ourselves. He said, I'm going to tell you something. I don't want you to tell anybody until I pass away. Or, I'm like, okay. He said, while he was while they were doing surgery, he saw the light. And it was the brightest, like everybody explained, the brightest you can imagine. And a man came out of it, and he reached his hand out. And he said, my dad said, what are we doing? He said, I've come to take you home. He said, I'm not ready yet. He said, are you sure? He said, I've got things I've got to do. And then, and he told me that. And he said, don't tell anybody till I'm gone. I'm like, all right. So I waited, the day he passed away. I told everybody, I said, look, he could have left us 2 years ago, but he came back. He came back, and he spent more time with us, and it was his choice. He could have went right then, and he told me not to tell y'all until this time. Hopefully, it helped some of them, but it helped me.
That's amazing.
I'm
glad you had the extra time.
Yeah, he chose to, and then COVID screwed us out of a lot of that because we couldn't visit. But that's another story too. I get, but I've talked to a lot of people. My mom and dad. There was 4 of them. There was a foursome on the golf course. They were playing a tournament, and they got struck by lightning. The sky was clear. It's called a blue streak. It comes out the backside. They're usually pretty powerful. They can hit you from 50 to 70 miles away. So my dad and this one guy went flying through the air, and my mom and this other fella stuck to the ground. And they found one guy's watch in his golf bag. It was off of him, and he didn't find it till later. But anyway, my dad and the other guy was pretty much okay. The other two, my mom and the guy, he had a heart attack 2 weeks later. He's still alive, but this has been 20 years ago probably. But after that, my mom started having weird things, and I lived in the house with them for a long time, and nothing ever happened. But there was things where you said the black shadows, she would see movement, and she would, turn and nothing's there. And it got bad enough. Like at one point she had a sewing room upstairs. Nobody was up there. She had her set up where she had 2 sewing machines. She had it, where she wanted it. And she said she was sitting there one day doing her thing. And if you ever mashed a pedal on a sewing machine, it's pretty hard to mash down. It came on beside her. Yeah. And she wasn't using it. And it stopped. And it did it 2 or 3 more times. She unplugged it, and she never went up there. And the stereo down the next level, the sewing machine was right above that upstairs. The stereo was right below it, and we would be sitting there, and that damn thing would come on.
Yeah. And nobody moved out?
It's the old place. Good
for them.
But she had stuff like that happen. But no, but they didn't go to the hospital. What was funny, they went to a bar, and they're all freaked out, and they got them a drink. And so she called the emergency room. She said, hey, there's 4 of us just got struck by lightning. Do we need to come to the emergency room? They said, well, pretty much if it don't kill you right away, you're probably going to be okay. There's nothing we can do. right
I
now.
had
But
something walking in the house today. First time I've ever had that happen in this house.
Oh.
Oh no, I didn't even tell you guys about it. JR and him was going to Virginia to go see his mom, and Layla was over at Hunter's, and I was home alone. I went and checked the whole house because I thought Layla had came home, and I just didn't hear her come in. I could hear it plain as day. The floor cracking like somebody was walking, and it wasn't just like one time like the floor had popped. Somebody was walking, and I come out of the bathroom from getting cleaned up before the show today and walked through the whole house looking, and I was like, there ain't no way.
Look,
I just started. I've never had that happen
I
before.
just
Oh my
look.
God.
Not walking like that.
Please tell me that you was like one of Charlie's damn angels when you were in the door.
I'm with Greg on that one.
No, I went through with a handful of firecrackers.
She's doing it, her. She's
she
doing
go around throwing
Hey.
flowers, see if she can.
I had my hairbrush and I was ready to use it.
it.
She's throwing tinctures at it.
That's
Do you have your dropper?
yes.
I'm serious. I really thought somebody was in the house, but
Look,
That
Probably
is
the
so
Ouija board
scary.
tattoo.
I'm gonna get her a damn super soaker full of holy water.
Power of Christ compels you. The power
Yeah.
of Christ compels you.
That's what I'm
that's what
talking
I
about.
need. I need one of them salt guns. Is what I need. Like
I
one.
just saw one of those.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a salt.
That's wild.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, I hope I don't never have no haints and spooks because look, I'm not staying with them, and them bastards gonna be homeless because I'm burning that bitch to the ground.
Look, I've had a few things happen, but the near death, the closest to death, is an easy one. We Panama City again. We'd come back from Panama City, and I had a '68 Plymouth. I was 17 years old. It had sat there for a week at the house, and the carburetor, the gas had dried up, I guess. And so when we got back, I'm like, damn. I thought, Tony, go get the gas can and let's prime the carburetor a little bit, And I'll carry everybody home. It's like several different cars of people, and some of my friends went. But anyway, so I knew he knew what to do, right? So I wasn't worried about him. But my friend John got in the car, and I'm like, don't crank it until I say crank it. Okay. So this gas in the carburetor, and John fires her up, and that I heard it when it backfired, and the details, the jug on fire. Tony sets it down, and it's flame. If it's half full, it probably killed us right then, but it was full. So this jug is melting and burning at the same time. And it sounds like jet. You know what I mean? It's crazy. This flame shooting out. Well, John's in my car, and this jug is collapsing. Well, my dumb ass kicks this son of a bitch, trying to save him. And when I did that, it blew up. Well, I had shorts on. We just come back from Florida. And what happens next, I know this was a split second, but I could feel the pressure, the air coming up, the heat coming up. I got my eyes closed just in time, and the air, y'all know how the heat does a balloon, or you heat up a balloon and it expands. My shirt expanded because of that hot air coming up, and it went away from my body. And this ear right here, no shit, where's it at? I don't know if you see it. There's a piece missing, but I was on fire, and I was in the middle of this fire, and I couldn't stop, drop, and roll.
Not funny. I'm sorry.
Oh, I know. No, it's weird how things slow down. So my leg is on fire. I've got a tattoo on a burn scar, and I didn't tell the person doing it what it was. And she said, "This is acting weird." I'm like, "Oh, really?" And waited till she got half done until I told her. But anyway, so I've got my eyes shut, and it's hurting.
That's not funny, but it is.
No, he said this is acting weird.
And what's funny is, my skin's on fire, but the hot part is those flames coming up and under my arms. The top of the flames, So, and I guess it was endorphins. It felt like warm honey went all over, and I didn't know the pain went away. And my thought was, like I said, all of this happened quick. Where's my ear? Yeah, I had a 50-50 chance picking the right one.
Troublemaker.
So I thought, this is it. This is how I die. And when I say a fireball, I mean the whole neighborhood is running. You know, it's not. It's just getting dark. Well, here's where it gets weird. So the pain goes away, and I kind of think I'm dead already, really. And I'm like, well, this is how it goes. And I'm like, and I just like said, well, God, you know, I accept this. I mean, then all of a sudden, it's like if you take your finger and soak it in ice water, it's like cold fingertip touched me right there. And when that happened, it wasn't like, hey, that's the way I need to run. My body woke up. My body did. I still have my eyes shut. I ran in that direction, and I missed 3 or 4 cars, a tree or two, ran past my sister. She was sitting on the porch, and she never saw me. Ended up in the front yard. Somehow I knew I was in the front yard. I've got my eyes shut, and I take and rake my hair and make sure it's out because I can smell it. The skin's burning, the hair's burning. And then I just said, God, if I can see, I know I look bad because I was hurting everywhere. But if I can see, I'll be fine. And I opened my eyes, and I'm like, okay, let's handle this shit. And I went, and we had a really cold well. Well water was cold. And I'll go over to it and start running that cold water on the worst burns. And then I noticed, where's Roger go? Where's Roger go? Well, John, the guy sitting in the car, he's country as hell. He said, last time I saw him, he run around the house on fire. And when he did that, my mom started screaming. Everybody started screaming. And I'm like, and I'm mad. I'm mad at him because he done about killed me. I didn't know if I killed my buddy because I kicked the jug towards him. He knew what was about to happen. He ran. I didn't know where he was at. So then the stuff starts hurting, right? So people come around. Daddy, I never had talked to him like this. I didn't know how bad it was, but I knew it was pretty rough. And he said, oh, hell, it don't look that bad. I said, right in, I said, you shut up. When I said that, normally he would have hit me in the nose. But he looked, and I said, listen, everybody calm down. You got to stay calm for me. And I said, you go get 7 or 8 towels and some wash rags, wet some of them, put ice in some of them. Mama, you calm down. You're driving me to the emergency room. You're going to sit with her and talk to her to keep her calm. Tony, you're going with me to keep me calm. And I said, everybody do that now. And they brought wet towels, and I turned the air conditioner on, and I'm laying wet towels, and I'm drawing this heat out, and I'm fixing to go in shock. I didn't know what shock was, but I felt it. I was starting to get jittery. So in my mind, I couldn't stop, drop, and roll. Baby. I thought about it. I had to get out of work good.
You don't run, Roger. You're just in the flames.
I ran the flames out.
I gotta ask.
The only person I know that can make being on fire funny.
But long story short, I did that. I put the cold. I kept transferring the cold rags and the ice and everything, lip, ear, and all that. Well, when I got to the emergency room, I talked myself out of going into shock. I didn't know what it was, but breathe deep. It's just your limbs. It's not your organs are not cooking. I don't know where this come from, but I'm like, it's going to be okay. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe out. And I kept myself from going into shock. And then I got to the doctors, and the doctor's in there, and he said, what happened? And I told him I was on fire. He said, there's no way that could happen. You don't have burns severe enough for that. And they're pouring this stuff on, this solution, and as they're pouring it on, it feels good, but as soon as it runs off, it hurts again. And I know the science behind that now, but anyway, they had to keep pouring it on slow because it was expensive. And so I screamed at my mom. I was like, get in here now. And she said, what is it? He's called me a liar. And so she said, no, I saw it, Well, anyway, he said, what did you do immediately after? And I told him about drawing the heat out to keep it from going deeper and keep it from cooking my, on farm. And he said, "Where did you learn that?" I said, "Hunter safety course. They taught us how to treat burns and hypothermia." He about crapped his pants. He said, "What?"
Yeah.
I was like 17, but I took that course when I was like 10. And that training came back. And, because of that, Don Odom and those guys teaching that, out of all the safety stuff they taught, that, the gun safety is important too. But I've had that come into play and probably saved me from, a lot of stuff. But anyway, after that, getting to thinking about it, I felt euphoric for about 2 weeks. It was from the touch, because I kept going back to that, because I'd given up. I'd accepted it. But whatever that was like, no, it's not time. And
Hey, I just want to know, Roger. Please tell me you scream "Flame on!"
no, hey, I tell you what, there was a kid there that was kin to somebody we were bringing back. He was about 11 years old, and he saw me running on fire. I think he was the only one that saw me. He's probably 30. He's probably 35 or 40. He ain't spoke to me since.
Really?
I scared the piss out of him. I don't know what he saw, but he would see me, like when he was a teenager. He'd go, he wouldn't even talk to me. So
Wow.
I like that.
Ghost Rider. I bet he has a damn fit too.
I know, right? It's y'all. That's what I tell people a lot of times. They'll get to messing with gas or whatever, and they're really not as careful as they should be.
Yeah.
And my ass will move. I'll get out of the way. I'm like that. The worst sound you can hear is that ignition.
Yeah.
I was 2 years later. I was at an AC/DC concert in Nashville, and it was we were up in the top. Well, we were down in the bottom part when the other band opened up. But when AC/DC, they were changing the stage for them to come out, all of the Hell's Angels come out of the stands and told us to get up. All those young people to get up there. They swapped places with us. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm fine. I'll go to the top. I don't care. But anyway, we're inside, and I hadn't thought about this fire in, like I said, a couple of years. And you're talking about PSD or PTSD and how your brain, does. So they were playing "For Those About to Rock, We Salute You." I didn't know this was about to happen, and this cannon went off inside that building, and it shook the I beams. And when that flashed, and I know it was, but when that happened, every spot on my body that was a burn scar tingled, and it tingled for 5 or 10 minutes, and it shook me, And he said, for that, and every time I hear that song, I laugh now because it was it didn't hurt, but it's funny, the nerves in my brain. Yeah.
Hey, Roger.
Yeah.
Did it shook you all night long?
Shook me for 10 minutes. And listen, there was a Samoan guy sitting beside me, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all, I ain't never smoked any dope. If they legalize it, because I know my luck, I would probably get a joint in my hand and a helicopter would come in and I'd get arrested and be on front of TV. So if they legalize it, that's a different story. I might go get a bail of it. But
I'm still gonna drop out of it.
I was sitting beside this Samoan guy, and he was huge. And he would lift up a fat roll and pull out this big old joint, and he'd light it up. And he sat there and he was toking on it, and he went to hand it to me. I said, I appreciate it, but I don't do that. He said, well, pass it down. I'm like, oh, I can do that. I passed it down. Well, when he figured out I wasn't going to smoke any of it, he'd take the biggest draw he could of it, and he'd turn and look at me and smile and blow it right in my face. And I told my mom about 1 o'clock. I said, I'm in somewhere in Nashville. I'm lost. I don't know where we're at, but we'll be there. But my daddy asked me about it. He said, man, how'd that go? I said, he was a big son of a gun. He kept pulling up fat rolls, and he pulled out. Everyone would get bigger. I'm like, God dang, how much dope has he got on him? So he said, what'd you do? I said, well, when he first started blowing it, I was leaning away from him. And after about the third one, I was leaning over and laying on it. I was getting closer to it. I didn't know. We pulled over and somebody said, where the hell are we at? And somebody, I think we just passed Tank Williams Jr.'s house back there. I said, how do you know that? I don't know. We got home about 3 o'clock, but.
Whoa, we got
We hit Crystal and a couple other places. Got some burgers and
Yeah.
Went to White
Taco Bell
Castle.
back then.
That's back before GPS and all that shit. I mean, I was driving and we ran out of lights. I'm like, uh-oh, I don't know. I don't know where we're going.
Ooh, wow.
We ended up going out towards, we're on the back roads, but we're going east. And somehow I saw Murfreesboro, or maybe, I don't know what it was. I got to 96. When I got to 96, I was good. But yeah, man, that was then you talking about paranoid? I took I was taking Delta 8s to sleep, right? No, I was taking the other ones, the ones that don't test. And so I had trouble getting to sleep. So I got these ones that were okay. What do you call them? The light ones, the light gummies. They're just, I don't know, CBD. Yeah. So that was helping, right? So I ran out, and the guy that had them,
they call him a dealer.
I don't have any more. Yeah, I don't have any more. So I went to the place, and I'm like, "Hey, you got any of that CBD stuff?" He said, yeah." He said, "We got this right here." He said, "There's these Delta 8s. They work good." I'm like, "Oh, well, how much is that one there?" And he told me. I said, "That's about a month's supply. Let me see it." And I said, will these test positive on, if I get drug tested?" And he said, no. And I'm like, okay. So I come home. This has been about 2 years ago, probably. I come home and I eat one. And I'm like, man, I can get to sleep. This shit ain't working. It's about 30 minutes into it. And them others work pretty quick. I said, he done sold me some bullshit. So I ended up taking about 2 more because I had to get up at 3. So I fall asleep in this daylight. I had to get up at 3 a.m. I fall asleep for about 30 minutes, and somebody screamed at me and tried to wake me up, and I jumped up and went to the house, and Heather's still at work, and I'm like, what the hell? And went back, got in bed, and this happened like every 15 minutes. I would jump up and I'd look around like somebody yelled at me. And when I got to work the next day at 5 o'clock in the morning, I was still screwed up. And I told them I took some Benadryl. But yeah, I got a home test because this right here ain't right. Something's wrong with this stuff. And it tested positive. So I gave them to my mama.
I've heard of people rattling off different names for herbals. I've never heard anybody talk about the damn Samoan fat roll. Never.
What was funny is
big old hog legs, Roger.
And he would look at me. He would blow. And he go. But the thing, what was funny, every time he pulled one out, it seemed like it got bigger. I don't know, but yeah,
that's really weird.
he wouldn't even have to pass it down.
Getting smaller.
Everybody to my right was wiring a kite. Nobody smoked any of it. I'm like, my buddies couldn't help me drive home because they was worse shape than I was, but because we started drinking like when we were first time. Yeah, I ain't gonna talk. First time I ever got drunk, I was 3 years old. We were my daddy and his cousin.
Oh my God.
They were ground hunting, and they stopped at the store and got an 8-pack of Pony Pat Blue Ribbon. And they shot a groundhog and they were looking for it. And I was thirsty and they forgot to get me anything. So
Oh
There,
my
there was like
god.
that in a pony, and I was like 3 years old, and
Oh.
I drank this thing, and I got another one open, and I ended up drinking it. And I sat there, and they were arguing about the fight over who drank whose beer. And all of a sudden, my daddy looked down. He looked at me, and I guess I was. He said, "Oh shit, Roger, did you drink these?" I'm like, "Yep."
Yep.
The next thing I remember, it was still daylight. It was probably 3 or 4 o'clock. Next thing I remember, I woke up the next morning. I walked through I had a headache. God, I felt bad. I walked down the hallway and come out in the living room. And y'all know those big ashtrays, the color red and green, and they're weighing about 5 pounds. There was 2 of them stuck in the sheetrock. My mama tried to kill my dad. She threw 2 of them. They were stuck in the sheetrock still.
Oh my god.
Damn.
I can see it now, Roger. Roger tells people, worst hangover I ever had. I had a 3-year-old hangover, and people's going, there's no way you can have a hangover last for 3 years. No, hell, I was 3 years old when I got it.
Yep. I don't know how I got it open. I mean,
Really?
and then I'm like, then I knew I was gonna get in trouble. I was like, well, I gotta like drink the rest of this and hide it,
Oh,
But yeah,
that's
I got 2.
painful.
Roger, how about kids? Look at there.
Oh, what's up?
There's her.
Hey,
Hey.
Hey, River.
River don't bring the haints in here with us.
hey, hey, going on, you mob?
River, what time?
Hang on, I got it on the phone now. It's not on the laptop. It's on the phone. Hang on, I'm still getting through the Aussie wave. Hang on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fixing your mic. Hang on. All right, say something.
Thank you. Hey, how you doing, you mob up there?
I'll get you.
I
Thank you, Catherine.
You can read.
What's going on? Hey, how you been up there? The meet and greet been good?
Yes, sir.
Aww.
Yes, it did.
Yep, was awesome.
Hey, that's so good, man. Yeah, that's good. Hey, you know what? That man sitting up there in that man cave, he does the best tucker, mate, that I've been told. But you come down here to Australia, mate, I'll cook you up some really good shit. You know?
I want to try some kangaroo.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. But you know, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, Chad and Erica. Welcome to the family. I'm only a new fella from down under too, you know?
Aw, thank you, River.
Thanks, River.
Ain't technology amazing?
Hey, no, you're good
Absolutely.
people. Yeah. Yeah. And, Chad, you remind me of my aunties like Abby, you know? But I mean, like, you remind me, because we went out and he knows about the boogers. I mean, like, Yowie's down here, down under. But I tell you what, mate, you remind me of him, you know, in that chat line that we were saying earlier? Yeah. Mate. It's so good.
Yep. That's awesome. I hope he's a good guy. I hope he's a good guy.
He still is, mate. And he's still alive and he looks like you and he does everything like you do, but he's in a different place. He's up there where you are and he's down here where I am. It's all good. Misty, you done a good job with the mushroom too, by the way.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Hey, River.
Am I gonna
I
have to
thought
grab some
Well,
soda?
like-
kind of rough handling, and it turned out pretty damn slick.
Hey, I don't know.
Well,
We weren't a privy to what kind of challenges Erica had to overcome to prove her worthiness of getting basically Excalibur's sword. I don't know if you had to pull it out of a rock or what happened, but undoubtedly
No.
she passed the test.
I
What
was
kind,
going to put it in the auction
Oh, yeah.
stuff. And
what
I
kind of
did.
wood was it made out of? Like something that gets
Hardwood.
in there?
No, it was fat wood.
There you go.
Fat wood, because we like the fat wood. It's not strong.
Hey, Mr. House, Mr. House, I've got to ask you something.
What's that?
That bit of timber you had today, that you were showing me, that like the bull roller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, look.
Back though.
See, you got me live, unplugged, down under
Aw.
on this owl show.
I'll show
Can
you.
I do it, Mr. House? Misty, can I ask you and Mr. House? Can I let Chad and Erica know about how I call the Donegal and Yowies in from down under?
Yes,
Sure.
sir. Hey, look
Please
here.
do.
Y'all hold the fort down for me. You tell them what's going on. I'm going to run in the house and use the restroom right quick.
I know. I'm like right there right now.
I'm about to explode. I'll be back. Coffee and Sprite's just too much.
I'll
Oh,
wait. No, I'll wait for your sister. I'll wait for your sister. But in the meantime, hey, Erica and Chad, you're with a good family, man. You're with a good family, you know. I'm down under in Australia, full-blood Aboriginal fella, you know. And I know about our Yowies, which is the same as what's going on up there with you mob, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen a lot of things, and not only them fellas, but I mean a lot of paranormal stuff and everything. Like, it's my culture, and it's, you know, and it's so tricky though. It's so tricky. But I mean, you know, when you were talking about that business with you with the car accident, sister, and I'm so happy that you're back, like back
Thank
on
you.
deck as a
Thank
speak, you know, and you can learn about that, you know. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. But
Erica, Chad and Erica, the thing about River here, he's no stranger to near death. He got hit by lightning like I did.
I really can't.
oh yeah,
It amazes me, Greg, when you and I talked at the conference, and you said that that a lot of the people that you knew in that circle there were struck by lightning. I'm one of them idiots that goes out in a thunderstorm and stands out in the middle of the rain watching the lightning come, and I've never been struck. Knock on wood. But wow, I mean, the amount of
yeah,
people
but
that have been.
yeah, yeah. Hey, true, brother. But see, I was coming home with my wanji, which means dog in my Aboriginal language down under Australia. You know, and I was just coming home with her, like we were down the river, and I was checking out the places where the the bandicoots, where the platypuses, where they come out from the other side of the bank of this river, you see. So I'm there, and I seen this happening, you know, and I thought, right, okay, Nomina. Nomina is the name of my dog. Nomina means like Monday night, you know. Madness. I just, yeah. And I was coming home. I was walking home from it. Me and her going back, we had to walk about a mile, like in your lingo, like means mile. But I mean, for us, would have been about a kilometre. So, but before we heard all this lightning and like the thunder and everything happening, you know, and I said, come on, girl, we've got to go. We swam across the other side, and then we went, you know. And I could tell that she was really apprehensive because there was a lot of lightning there. And then bang, I got hit, man. I got hit, and I've still got the scars on me. And she was right beside me, and we got booted, you know. We got booted a long way. But you know what? When I went and got her, I come out of there like I come out of my bed. It took me a bit to get out of there, but I got out of there. I mean, like I had to, because I had to pick up my girl, like my dog, and she was 15 at the time, 15 years of age. She died at 17.
Oh,
But when I got her out of that briar bushes, she was a long way, mate. She was about, I don't know, 20, 30 yards away from me. She was booted. And I was wasn't too far either myself, but gee whiz, it's nothing you'll never you'll never forget. You'll never forget what's happened to you, because it hurts you, and you've got this memory. So when I got her, I went, hey, I said, come on, Guru, come on, I talking in my lingo, see, and when she come to, she was all wobbly on her feet. Now, this is a big dog, not a little dog. I mean, like her mother was a Great Dane, the father of Alsatian, And so, bang, we started to walk. And next thing you know, we looked in front of us, and there was these 3 blue orbs, like whitey, bluey type, but it was getting more blue. But it was blue every time. And I got up to around about 10 to 15 feet, see? But then when I had Numina come along, I had this bang on the left-hand side, butter. And look, hey, who presents himself? But that Dooligal. Dooligal in that lingo means like Yahweh, And he was there, bro. And he'd have been about, I don't know, 7 foot. But he didn't come to hurt us. He just let us know, because we had to walk that track to go back home, see? And it's only a dirt track, bro. And we done that.
wow.
But,
Wow.
but but I mean, like down here, I mean, like I told Greg this about, I mean, like Greg's motorbike thing is almost the same as what has happened with me with certain things, but I was on my own. See, brother Greg had, he had his mate there with him, which wasn't too far away, and like brother Al, and I mean, but I was on my pad. I was on my own with just a asparagus cutter, going looking, getting yams, and out in the bush, and all I had was myself. But I had a good Lord there with me, don't get me wrong. I spoke when I walked in there. Don't get me wrong now, sisters and brothers, but look, I'm telling you the real deal here. Look, I mean, I got no reason to lie to you, because I've been ridiculed about what I've said about with things, But I mean, when you see one of these damn things, and my first sighting was 12 years age. We won't go back there, but I mean, and I love all you mob up there, because you see, so you people and me are so important, because see, I've had a lot of stuff going on in regards to outside of booger stuff and Yahweh stuff, but other than that, I can come in here and share stuff with you. Now look,
Absolutely.
Paranormal. I had me mate passed away, showed himself in front of me, and the shadow things I was telling you about, Greg House, and the things that I've seen down here, man, is it's probably the same deal with what's going on up there with you fellas, But
I don't think location has anything to do with it, really.
Well, kind of.
I mean,
it can be the same between our continent.
so
and
give me a
another.
thought.
Like it can be.
I just think that what happens everywhere. I mean, I just truly believe that that's how it's supposed to work. You're seeing the same things that we see the same things that you see. It's just different land.
In a different country, brother. In a different country,
Well,
in a different country, brother.
You're still dealing with human beings, and you're still dealing with Mother Earth. It's just different places on the earth.
Yep.
Right. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, my brother.
And because of that, you know, we all call it something different. I don't. You could be like 3 counties away, and it'd be. I never heard wood boogers. I heard booger man. You know, I heard stuff like that, but I didn't hear boogers until I started talking to Greg. But hey, River, I'm gonna show you how you can have an influence over somebody. I saw this hat,
Hey,
and it's from
hang on
Australia.
before you go any further.
It's
Sorry,
from
sir,
Australia.
before you go any further. Sorry, hey, brother, before you go. Gee whiz, Roger, I've missed you, brother.
Aw.
Oh,
No, really, man. I mean, like, I know it's going to be a hard thing with you, but I mean, like, you're going to be hip to be square, see?
but I saw this hat, and it's in the antique store, and I flipped it over, and it said it's made in Australia, the BC hat, and I said, I'm gonna buy that and show it to River. So now it's my booger hat.
Aw.
Yes. Thank you, brother. Gee whiz, it's good to see you, Roger. I mean, like, I'm sorry I haven't been in contact with you because you've got a lot of things going on and stuff, you know?
I know.
So, yeah, that's good, mate.
Yeah. Time we saw you on Woodwalkers, Heather, she loves accents, you know, like different. And of course, we have a lot of different accents here too. And she said,
Oh, come on, mate. Give me a break.
She said, I love his accent. I can't understand him. It took a few minutes. But yeah, it's
Hey, you know what? We got a beautiful family out there that look after us, and we got to look after them too. And look, that business you fellas done on the weekend was so good, man. It was so good, bringing beautiful people together again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mr. House and JR and Misty, and we will mention the possum.
Well, I bet Possum's probably been asleep by at least 4 hours right now.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh, look, he's been snoring. He's been snoring for longer than that, like, hey, brothers. He'd be like, yeah.
I don't know if Heather's still up. We were going to go out and put a recorder out tonight, but
Hey, Chad and Erica, can I do something for you, for your new people on this mob?
Please do.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, Mr. House is going to go, oh, no, not again.
I know what's about to happen, and it's awesome. Just hold on. Yep.
Hey,
He's fixing to do something special for y'all. Check this out.
Oh, didgeridoo.
I didn't who?
Is that what that is?
yeah.
Yeah.
You see me, y'all?
Yes.
Ah, I look like a black fella in Australia, right? I got you now, you black fella in Australia got you all now.
You might turn him down, Misty.
This is a story from my people to you, all right? Can you see me? Hang on.
Yes.
Oh, hang on. Got my people got como. What got my robot como? I am Mama Yukomo. I am Mama Yukomo. Ha! Hey! Oh! I seen them up, I seen them walk, I seen them all, and I seen them talk. Ah, 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 ah.
Awesome.
Thank you, River. Thank you.
Thank you, River.
Well, that's the best I can do.
That was awesome.
Where else?
Hey, have y'all ever been serenaded with a didgeridoo from a full-blown outdoor?
No, he just taught me what a didgeridoo is like 3-4 months ago. I never heard of the word before. Thank you, River.
Well, say, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. All of you mob up there, I love you so much. You people are good people. You're like me, where I can talk to people through that didgeridoo. Well, we call it yidiki. But through that didgeridoo, I speak to my people, my hairy people through that.
River, what is that made from? What is that made out of?
Oh, brother, this is tricky one, this wood. Oh, yeah. It's what you call yellow box, bruh. Yellow box. Can you see me properly and hear me?
Hear you
yeah.
and see you wonderful. I'm glad that you're actually getting signal.
Yeah.
Hey, about bloody time, mate. Look, I had you under the government, so
Hey, River. River, what
Hello.
time is it? What time is it for you?
at the present time in South Australia, it's 4:15. So 4:15.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, for us tomorrow evening. That's my
I know, it might be
Monday.
the owl business, man. It's the owl business.
Yeah.
Our business.
Hey, Roger.
Yeah.
Roger, since it's 4 p.m. tomorrow evening, we need River to tell us what the lotto tickets are going to be.
Okay. Have you got your pens and paper ready?
Yeah.
It's 1, 2. It's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
You know how you like, no, well, look, let's be fair to now, Misty. You know what it's like when you're picking numbers, right? Now, I mean, like, when I sit here and I'm sitting on my lappy, right, and I'm watching, and I'm looking at all you fellas' shows and looking what I'm doing on the shows with you and thinking what an idiot I am. Yeah, but I look at the numbers at the time, you know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 12, 34, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you put them on your lotto ticket and you like you do 7 numbers, but you never know. You never know. See?
River,
One day, mate.
I was actually going to ask you, in your culture,
Yes.
is there a
Yes.
significance of numbers? Because for us, there would be the 1, 2, 3, 4, which you just said, but then we also have the 11, 11. Do you have any others?
Thank you. 11, 11. Yep. 12, 34. I mean, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you've got, you know, like your morning business, you know. And yeah, thank you, sister. Thank you, Erica. Chad, you got a beautiful woman that's got a good mind, you
I
know,
do.
even though
Thank you
she's
very
been
much.
hurt.
Yes.
God bless you, bro. God bless you, sister. Thank you, Erica, for being on this beautiful show with these beautiful
Thank you.
people. You know, no, really. I mean, look what you got. Look at how many people in the chat line that's gone crazy.
Well, I haven't paid attention to the chat, but
Yeah, but never mind. I mean, like, yeah, sorry.
do you have certain hours or times of the day that, like, it's, I guess, kind of significant here, or we tend to like pay attention when it's 12:34 on the hour on the clock, or like 11:11.
What's he saying?
But do you have different hours or different times that stick out?
Same time, but you're behind me, see. So, but I'm in front of you. But I mean, with the 11:11, yeah, I know the same deal. The 11:11, all this thing. You know what I'm telling my mates? I'm going, no, I'm going to put this on Lotto, man. I want to do this and win this bucks so I can go up there and see you, mob.
Hey,
I want to sit in the man cave. I want to sit in the man cave with Mr. House. That's
hey,
what I want to do.
That's what I want to do.
right here. Hey, I
I
want
want
to
to sit with the house. I want to sit in the house with the house. That's it, man.
look,
Y'all
y'all.
better call me.
I want to show y'all one of my most prized possessions, and I've got a lot of toys. That's why I built a man cave.
Me
But-
too.
But let me tell you something. I've got one of my most prized possessions. I just took it off the wall because it hangs in a place of honor. But my brother from down under sent me this right here.
Huh.
And I want y'all to look at that. And look, here's the thing. Not only did he send me an Australian boomerang from a true Aboriginal man, I want to show y'all his artwork he put on this thing.
Wow.
He hand painted it. It's got a platypus. If y'all can see it. And look at here. It comes
Come
down.
on.
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Got a kangaroo he drew
I'm
on it.
just too far away, man.
Look, y'all. I hope y'all can see that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Y'all,
Wow.
I like, look, no, come on, don't make me out to be one of these.
hey,
Yeah, I'm just a lovely
It's
person who loves good
beautiful.
people who understand that they're real. That's all I want to say to you, fellas. And I love you.
man,
We love you.
Hang on, y'all.
when I
Hang
got
on, y'all. Wait there.
when I got
Uh-oh.
this thing in the package from Australia, it was in a big padded case. And I didn't know what he was sending me. Look at him. I did not know what he was sending me. But when I opened this up and on the packaging, it had the thing where it came through customs, the customs tag. I opened it up and it had from River Morris to me, and it said from Australia, his address, and it said boomerang. Well, I cut the label out, it's on the wall, and I opened it up to this, y'all, and it was absolutely overwhelming. Because look, I've been a hunter my whole life, and for an Aboriginal man to send me something that they actually hunt with, that was unreal, unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
But hang on. We've got a lot of people out there that's listening to us at the present moment. Can I share something with you by you saying that, Mr. House? See, I opened up to Greg. The first person I opened up to from down under in Australia was Kerry Arnold, right? We spoke about things and we yarned about things without even going on Bigfoot Odyssey. We yarned about a lot of things, you know, and there was things I couldn't speak about. Me being a tribal man, full-blood tribal man, I couldn't even speak to my people about this, you know. My people said, no, don't be doing that. Don't be doing that. But I said, I've got her now. I've got her now because we've got to bring awareness. And this is the thing, where a lot of people have been getting taken away, saying people didn't know what they were getting taken away, away by what, yeah? So that's how I opened up, and this is how I opened up the Greg House. Well, I spoke to Greg, I sent a comment on one of the shows with Woodwalkers. Hey, Greg, am I right or am I wrong?
Absolutely correct.
Thank you, sir. And
Yeah.
you know what? This is
Well,
how
I
it's
know-
been from there on. I mean, like, I've got to open up to someone. I mean, Kerry Arnold was good with me. We yarned. He come on my radio show and he said, damn, River. Well, he didn't say damn. He said, dang, River. Am I live on your show? And I said, you're live. You're live, Kerry Arnold. You're live. He good man, mate.
River,
Look, I think about him all the time. I watch the old shows and everything, you know. But this is what I want to show to all the people out there who may be still listening and watching.
Oh wow.
There's my signature on the foot right there.
Yeah. We
Aw.
sent River an aluminum piece
Hang on.
Man.
I'm going to do it that way. Hang on. I'm going to do it
So
right here.
cool.
Hang on.
See Greg's at the top.
Yeah.
Look like it.
Very cool.
Hang on.
Got a
That's
Christmas card.
Yeah,
from
so it's all kind of.
There you go. Now show it.
That's so awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome.
Aw.
There's Kimbo.
Yeah.
Sherry.
Mr.
Greg.
Yeah,
G,
all the names on there.
Tim.
Misty.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
and I
that's
did it for all the time.
awesome.
The main thing is there's the house
Aw.
family.
There's my son on the front foot there.
And a Merry Christmas. Oh, the
That's cool.
colors are beautiful.
It's so cool. Yeah, so I just did that,
Awesome.
you know.
That's cool.
I thought I'll do something different around the outside and bring in the, you know, bring in the people type thing in the bits that, but they're not the real people. They are us, but they're flesh and blood like us, you know. Like I've seen them, I've spoken with them, like Greg as he's experienced with Al, you know. What I mean, like, but they are real. They are real. They are there. They're down here with us. We had an experience there last week, you know. Well, not last week, but 2 weeks ago. And that's after the first one I was telling Greg about. So there's been another 2, Greg, by the way, in
Wow.
regards to Yowie exciting by people out there camping.
Wow.
And they call on Uncle River. They go, Uncle River, can we talk to
Uncle
you? And I
River.
go, yeah. Welcome.
Hey River, you said people
Yeah.
go missing. Have y'all ever found? I'm sure you have, but like abandoned campsites with tents and equipment, and just the people disappear with no reason and don't take anything with them.
Absolutely, sir. I've seen a few out of the place called but I've spoken to with Mr. House and Misty and the possum, which has gone missing.
Missing possum. Man, it sounds like a bar. The missing possum.
Yeah.
The missing possum. But yeah, oh yeah. There's been people out home where they've said to me, River, have you you know, because I mean, like I know a few of my people, my Aboriginal people have gone missing, brother. You know, and it's and our people have been out there looking for them, you know. But in the meantime, brother, there's a lot of gunjas, like ghosts. In this place it's called Google it if you want. It's there, man, and it's real. It's called Pilliga Scrub. Right? And these people are, you know, they appear out of nowhere with our Aboriginal, like our cultural way. They come out of nowhere, these people, and they just take you away. You know, they see it's the same with our Dullagal, like our Yowie, and the same with your Bigfoot, you know, like your Boogers and Sasquatch and all that, you know. But look, they speak to you. They speak to you. They speak to you. They say names. They say things, you know. And you go and like you look out and you think, no. I knew someone said something, but they didn't. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, it's the same deal down here with what you fellas got going on up there. You know, but I mean, like with the Pilliga Scrub, man, the Pilliga Scrub is crazy. I'm telling you honestly, it's crazy. A lot of paranormal, man. A lot of like, you know, like you've got oh yeah, and hey Misty, you would love it. But I mean, you know,
no,
but it's just crazy. But it's just
and literally eat me, and I am not
but
trying
I mean,
to mess.
but Misty loves cemeteries. Misty, you love cemeteries, don't you?
Yes, sir.
You love cemeteries.
Oh, I do.
There you go.
I
Well,
do
I was
for
telling
sure.
Brother Greg about that. Well, be careful of that, because I was telling Greg about a sister of mine down in Tasmania. I think I told you about it. I don't know if Greg told you, but she went out with a group of friends from Melbourne that flew across from the mainland to go to Tasmania, and they'd gone there, right? And they're sitting in their little place, and Joe, she's so cool, man. She's an artist. She's an artist. She paints things. She's an artist. She puts stuff everywhere, and she does all this stuff. But she got a Ouija board.
Uh-oh.
And I said, "What you doing with that?" She said, well, she rang me up, man. She
My-
rang me up here, right, in South Australia. She rang me up. She said, "I've got friends coming over from Melbourne. I'm taking them over to do this thing, at the cemetery." And I said, "What are you going to do at the cemetery?" She said, "I want to take me Ouija board." I said, "What you doing taking that for, sister? You don't go taking things like that, because you'll have bad things that happen to you." Well, you know what happened? Like I said, she come home. Before they got home, they were there for 2 hours, mucking around, talking and doing all the business, Nah, they got home. All her paintings were off the walls. The other ones were turned upside down. The whole lounge suite was turned around. Everything was just upside down all around. So people, don't muck around with that business, right?
No.
Sorry,
when
I
they
just
said,
had to say that.
if Ed asked me what I was going to do with a Ouija board, my answer would have been straight up. I'm going to pull a damn Roger Williams and burn this sumbitch.
That's the
I'll
way.
tell you a story about
Burn it, Roger.
Oh,
Tell us.
Hey, I'm not getting anywhere near that crap.
yeah, no, back when I was a kid, I mean, people didn't really think nothing of it, I mean, they sell it as a child's game, literally.
Yeah.
Sherry and them had one, and I've watched Mom and them play that thing. I don't know how many times. Like my mom, my uncle's ex-wife, his first wife, or whatever. All of them would like get together and sit and play this thing.
Misty,
What?
did they play it in the house where you had that scary crap happen to you when you were a little girl?
What? Not in that house, not as far as I know. But the way our places is laid out, like the land is all one piece of land, pretty much, or it was, but it just got divided up, and all of our houses are right here together. Like my mom's over here, my mama and papa's right here. I'm across the creek, and my uncle's kind of back this way. Well, they were playing it in my mama and papa's house, which I had stuff happen in there too all the time, but. It's really weird because Sherry is a really religious person. And once she figured out, like they're nothing but trouble, she said she put this thing in her, it's like a linen closet kind of in the hallway where a bathroom is outside of the living room. And she said she would walk by there and she would hear this thing calling her name from that closet, telling her to get it out and play it.
mm-mm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. After that, she got rid of it. I'm getting old talking about it, and she never messed with it again. We've never played one since.
I'd have had a whole bucket full of hell to the no for that book.
I've sat and watched
You know what,
flames.
Misty,
And
before I Misty said that. Mr. House, I had that sort of thing that happened with me, what you just said. And it was about like this person said, "Hey, black ass, get your ass out of here," But and then Greg's going, "But you ain't black, bro."
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why you
So,
keep saying
but that's happened with me. That's happened with me in regards to what you're saying, Misty. With the, sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that was it. That's that was pretty wild though, considering that, I mean, they would tell them all kinds of stuff. Like they were talking to this one, it would come up and it called itself either Mama or MAMA1 is what would always come up. And it was telling like where there was like supposed buried treasure or, I guess not really treasure. Well, I guess it is. It's like Confederate gold, and it was telling like where you could go find the grave, where all this. I mean, I remember this stuff from being, you know, a kid and just watching them play this, and it's like, man, that's not nothing. That's really, really serious shit.
Well, please tell me, Sherry.
They sell it as a child's game. That's what's crazy.
I saw one that the big yard. Now y'all look, I'm a yard sale goer. Now I love yard sales. I saw a damn Ouija board sitting on a table at a yard sale Saturday, and I made a wide berth around that piece of shit. He's gone down the line.
You definitely don't want to buy somebody's used board. You don't
No
know
shit.
what they've done with that. Could you imagine?
They probably never.
No,
They probably
No,
never closed
no.
it out in the first place.
No.
So you're just inheriting everything that they drew out.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
can't spray it with something, clean it, nothing. Like, well, hey, Mama, Mamai, in English and in Irish, and it means to mom or mama.
Wow.
So I didn't know. I know you said one, but I'm scared to type that in.
Yeah, I'm not all about
Good on you, fella.
Mama.
See if that pulls
Good
up
on you,
anything.
brother Chad.
Yeah, I am not about the bullshit. No.
Oh, you don't complain. You know, I was sitting underneath a window at a mate's place one night, see? Like, I mean, like, we had a bit of a party. Anyway, near this window, which I'm sitting at close here where Misty and Greg and Jeff and Billy Schilling seen the curtain come out on me, and it's a closed window, bro. It's not open, yeah. And
We
it
have
was so funny, you know, because I'm sitting there. Yeah, sorry,
What
Greg,
does
go
that
on.
mean?
that curtain was
Scary.
straight out.
I know. But,
Stay
see,
there.
but then after that, I had I had shadow figures here. I've had a mirror in this room, man, and my dog was going like Mingo. He was going off his nut, you know, like he's going, yeah, like yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm a tribal man, right? I'm a tribal elder from down under in New South Wales, and I mean in South Australia at the moment, but I'm from New South Wales. I'm a tribal elder, and I know over 60,000 years, these fellas have been with us for years, and I know this for a fact, man. I've seen them, I've spoken to them, you know. And I mean, like, you get these people. I finally opened up after all these years. You know, my uncle said, you've got to tell them, and I have.
Well, to me,
And that's why I'm a part of your beautiful family. I mean, like, you know, you families are so beautiful. I can talk to you about this. I can't talk to my Aussie mob about this. Well, okay, Greg's met and Jeff and the mob's met Sarah. But I mean, you know, Sarah's cool. Sarah Bignell with Bigfoot, you know. I mean, Yowie Central. But you know, it's a thing. Once you see one of these bloody things, Chad and Erica Ray, you'll never forget it, you know. And it's a thing that's
sure.
always going to be in your mind, and it's something you'll never forget about. And you know, my first sighting was 12 years of age. But I mean, like, Greg's had it for what? How long, brother?
About
20 odd years, eh?
About 24 years worth.
Wow.
Yeah.
The biggest
Yeah.
thing I took was mine wasn't scary. I guess I was naive too. The distance made it a little safer, but it messes your mind up a little bit. But the biggest thing was like, okay, if this thing's real and they're telling you it's not real, what else is real that they're telling you that's not real? That was what I took away from it, other than the oh shit moment, you know. And I love Larry on Beast TV that night put it. He said you got to Roger 5 minutes before you see the Bigfoot, and then you got to Roger after you see the Bigfoot, and you can't go back to before. Like River said, once you see it, it changes a lot of stuff for you. And I guess I've always been curious, but that's when I started checking out books in the library about the other stuff, you know. But yeah, like the ghost stuff, that scares me more because it seems like you have less control over that.
Yes.
You know,
Oh
Yep.
yeah. You know, brother, hey Chad, brother, I totally agree with what you're saying. That is a different realm or realm or realm, whatever way you want to say it. Again, isn't it? I mean, like when you see something materialize in front of you, you know, that's when it takes kind of when your mind's got to go, whoa, hang on, you know, and that's what's happened with me through my tribal way, through down in Australia. These people have passed away that I've seen. I spoke to Greg House about this, you know, and it's something you'll never forget again. I mean, like besides
sure.
saying the Yowie or Bigfoot, you know, that's something else that you got to take on board too. You know what I mean? Like I was struck by lightning, right? I mean, like Greg and I spoke about it, and there's a lot of other people out there who've been through the same deal, you know. But there's these things that happen, you know, and you can't talk to a lot of people about these sort of things. And this is where this beautiful station's opened up with you fellas to help
Well,
people like, you know, me and other people to come on and talk about it, you know, let it out, you know, because there's not a lot of people you can talk to personally in front of each other, you know. You can't sit down in a coffee shop and say, oh, I got to talk to you about, you know, but it's happened to me. But, you know, but, look, I love you. My views are so good, honestly, man. You know,
what's
Absolutely.
views are so
interesting
good.
about all of this is the different reactions. You know, some people shut down because they can't talk about it. I couldn't talk about it. I mean, over the years, I found people that you can mention it to. Mine was just all of a sudden it entered into my world, and then you know I learned about it later. River, you've probably heard stories when you were a young kid. People passing down stories. And Greg was interesting because he had a lot of different encounters, but it wasn't a sighting. And riding with him down there where he had his sighting, it was interesting that when he finally did see one, it was like relief. Like he said, he screamed at it, I see USB, and he
Well,
finally confirmed that's what had been messing with him all those years. And
Mm.
I like that. I like what you say is we finally get to talk about it, and I'll say whatever. Now
but
here's where I change. Now,
yep,
if you hear somebody
yep.
ridicule you, River, or Greg, whoever, or me, now when people laugh and all, I understand that usually people laugh at things they're scared of, and they are the uneducated ones on this subject. They can't help it. You know, if I haven't seen certain things and you come to me, I'm like, I'll ask questions. You know, show me a little proof. I would be curious. But the people that laugh, I think, are terrified that it could be true. You know,
Roger,
Hey,
what?
brother, when you, like I said, I appreciate what you're saying, and I honestly think that you're 100% right. You know, because you know, a lot of people down here in Australia, they don't kind of want to take on the thing about it, you know, but they do. But they are, because see, it's taken me a long time
Right here.
to get
No.
to where I got to show awareness, right? And my people have even ridiculed me, brother, about this, right? And you know, when it comes to where not only do you see the big fellas, but you see the little fellas too, you know. And this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand about our culture down here in Australia. Like you fellas up there, the little people up in America, what do you fellas call them?
Little
Like,
midgets.
look, no, little people. They call it little people. Like that's what it is. Misty
But
refers
the
I'm
little
so
hairy
sleepy.
fellas.
We
He is
gotta
not
go.
wrong.
Misty refers to them as Spencer's people.
Oh God, I'm so
Oh, okay, a little possum.
Little
Little possum.
mini possum.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh,
Mini possum. We have mini possums down here too.
Roger, what you
Hey,
were
Chad, be good to have a yarn with you, dog. Yeah.
yeah, Roger, what you were talking about.
Oh, absolutely, man.
I know people that are avid hunters. I'm talking about guys that's lived in the woods, stayed in the woods, hunted everything in North, or basically in
Yep.
Southeast U.S. that are really good woodsmen, but they will not admit. I know some of them that's had experiences that they cannot explain, no shape, form, or fashion. I've talked to them about it, and they refuse to admit that it was probably a Bigfoot. And the reason is, with most of them, is because they can't stand to think that there's something out there that could take them out. And the fear overrides the common thought of this, and this adds up to this, and that's all it can be. And they'll try their damnedest to explain it away. And the way they try to explain it away doesn't even add up. I mean, it's ridiculous what they'll explain and try to convince themselves that it was something besides that, because they absolutely are afraid that they'll spook themselves and they'll quit hunting, they'll quit going to the woods, and they won't let that thought process percolate in their head and come up with what it really is. It's like they just block it out. And to me, that's more ridiculous than even go ahead and going, well, this happened, and that happened. And that's lining up with what these thousands and thousands of people are saying. And that's all it can be. They'll double down on, I'm not going to believe it, because if I believe it, it's going to change my perspective. They'd rather just turn a blind eye to it and keep trucking down the road of ignorance. And to me, that errs back on the side of that's completely silly to look at it that way. Oh, seriously,
what the hell are Jens down there doing?
she's doodling her mushroom or something. I don't know.
Please keep talking, Greg.
Oh,
Just
Yeah, I've seen
brother.
people, like they reject, even if they.
Sorry, go ahead.
look, you messed the whole conversation up.
What's the problem?
oh Lord. Hey, this is live. This is live action. Go ahead, Roger.
I don't.
All the way from Australia down under too, mate.
I don't know, but we get into with everybody that's in chat and watch the news, and we got to know each other, we trust each other, and like you both, and like I said, once you feel like you got people who talk or said somebody laughs, it doesn't hurt your feelings or anything like that. You're just like, dude, if you only knew, so we're in a good spot. I understand, guys, for instance, we get a son and we got in the woods. We're the shit, right? But once you find out that you ain't, it changes things. I used to go walking. I've told this before. I was 13, 12, whatever. And I'd go with a $2 flashlight and walk way out in the. Didn't have a cell phone.
That was 4 years ago.
That's before I saw what I saw. Now, after I saw that, I turned into mostly a field hunter. Walk, if somebody's with me, and I'm not naive. Like I say on some of our lives or videos we've done when we're out walking, I carry something with me. But I tell the people this, before we get started, this is for, there's little things that like to bite you. And I've been chased by pretty much anything, any insect you can think of, any, possums and skunks and whatever, on up. My job as a husband and a dog owner and a dad is to protect my wife, my dog, my kid, whoever's with me, right? So that's what that's for. And people say, oh, yeah, but, the Bigfoot, they know your intentions. I'm like, okay, then. If they know my intentions, we should be good. right? I mean, so you go in, and I always, before I enter the woods, I don't know if it does any not. Now that I've talked to all the people that knows or supposed to know, I will. I'm here. We're not here to hurt you. We're here, doing whatever. This is not for you, And Greg, similar to what you had going on, I think we aggravated a group of them, and we had that happen that day, and it got so bad. Peyton set his rifle down, and I said out loud,
Hey,
"You said
Roger.
on." Yes, sir.
Hey, Roger.
Go
When
ahead.
you were saying when you were young, fella, when you had your first encounter, can you relate to where you are now, to how you feel? I mean, I know it's a tricky question, but
No. So people say, well, the first thing I noticed. Well, first thing you notice is everything. That's what messes your mind up. The size, the color, the all one color, how quick it is, whatever. So it messed with my mind,
Yep.
right? But after you get to thinking about it, and after I kind of put it back, but I was still aware because I was going back in the woods. But now, being older, being able to talk to people, having different experiences with them, kind of learning about them, you learn about them.
Yeah.
I'm scared, but I do respect it because you could have 100 dogs and all of them be fine but one, and that one hurt you. So I assume they're like anything else. If they're flesh and blood, you can have one that's that's
Absolutely.
mean, right? Here's what I will say too: we talk to all these different people, and the only thing that we know, and I've said this before, is what we've experienced, right? So I can't tell you, well, they do this, they only do this because this is what I saw that one do. Well, they got a mind of their own. All animals have a mind of their own. People have a mind of their own. So I guess then I was naive. I did change the way I did things. Now I've learned enough to be respected and be careful, not put myself in, which I have, but not knowing. But I put myself and my kid in positions where, like, oh shit, we probably screwed up. But and going down to Greg, now I'm brave enough. 20 years ago, I wouldn't have went down there and sat on his back porch. But we sat down there the other night. We talked. Head was on a swivel. We were talking. And Misty turned the light off.
That's wonderful.
Hey, but brother, 20 years ago, you wouldn't have known about this business, would you?
No, well, not as much.
Like you found good people that's been around this business.
Right.
Same with me down under in Australia. No, I couldn't talk to anyone. I understand what you're saying, Roger. You're a good man too, by the way, and you're a lovely woman, Heather. All the best, brother. I love you, and your son too, by the way. But we know we don't have this illusion that we're gonna get the evidence. I feel like there's enough evidence out there anyway, just in people we all know, that we could have a presentation of stuff that we found, that we've recorded, and Greg, I'm telling you, Greg right now, he doesn't do all that, but I mean, a story. I was down there, a couple times ago about one, something pulled on the door, went right to the door and found greasy hair marks and hair, and could tell exactly where it reached across. And I still got the hair in here. I'd like to get it, looked at, but
hey, Roger.
yes,
brother, we gotta start winding her down, y'all. We're nearly 2.5 hours, but look, we'll have to do a part 2. Oh, I know, Misty.
hey, you sounded like Spencer then.
The what?
You sounded like Spencer then.
I know. Misty's texting me. Her phone's about to die.
I'm running when I'm outside. I have to run it off my hotspot, and so we've been 2.5 hours using my phone service.
Yeah. But guys, look, we appreciate
Hey,
everybody for coming on. Awesome to see Brother River Morris. And look, Chad and Erica, I guess y'all are sure enough officially broke into the tribe.
I guess, yeah.
And
We love it.
y'all, thank y'all so much. And look, we're just proud to have
hey,
Roger back in with us.
you're worthy of everything,
Yes.
man. You're worthy, man. You're worthy. You know, like you beautiful people. I mean, like, how can a person go wrong when you got right with you fellas? Yeah?
So, guys, anything y'all want to tell everybody before we get going?
Yep. Can I say a
Just-
prayer?
Yes, sir.
Just
They're
a
not
quick,
my overalls.
just a
They're my
quick
Bama
prayer.
balls.
Just a quick prayer. Just a quick prayer.
Okay.
Yes,
I
sir.
Mrs. Campbell get better, but no, a quick prayer. The good Lord, it's an absolute pleasure to have them meet beautiful people who's been out there and done their business and doing stuff like meeting and everything. And I know the good Lord has brought this upon us so they can all connect and everything. But look, from even down under, I want to thank you for sharing this moment to have with beautiful people like what I'm talking to at the present moment. Thank you, the good Lord, and thank you. Amen.
Amen.
Amen,
Yeah,
brother.
River.
Amen. All right, Chad, how about
Hey,
you?
no, really, man.
I just want to say
Hey?
that, I know we're new to all this, but again, we've met some incredible. River, thank you. Thank you for the didgeridoo, or I don't know what the Aborigine name is for it, but thank you. You guys have not done nothing but make us feel wanted or liked or whatever. And I love that. Thank you.
Hey,
You're a
we're happy
beautiful
to have
people,
you.
man.
And what's
But
funny
you're
is,
believers. Are you believers?
Yeah. Oh, heck yes. Heck yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I am, and I know, and I'm a sharer of that. I'm bringing awareness with that, you know? And that's where I met up with Greg House, and he's just such a marvelous man. And along with Misty and Spencer and all the rest of the crew, Gary
Absolutely.
Spikes Senior and all the mob, you know, they're good people, mate. And you've come into a
Yes.
great family, brother
Absolutely.
and
For
sister.
sure.
Yep.
You have the picture over, and thank you for being a part of me from down Australia too.
Oh, thank you, River.
Thanks, River.
Hey,
We
and
love
what's
you,
funny
River.
is,
No
you,
worries,
you'll get,
brother.
Roger.
you'll get to a certain point where you forget how you met everybody.
Hey,
Like
Roger.
now, it's just like I don't even remember a point where I didn't know
Hey,
everybody.
I won't forget. I won't forget how we met you, Roger, and then Greg, and all the like. I know that's what led us to. It really feels like where we belong. I won't forget that.
Well, next time if I ever do a show like that again, I'll bring extra chairs.
Good
Roger,
move, guys. Good move. Good move, Chief.
Roger, what do you want to tell everybody before we get going?
Y'all, I appreciate everybody checking on me, and I missed everybody. I'm glad everybody had fun at the meet and greet, and look forward to next time. Just bear with me.
Hey,
I'll
hang on
film my-
before Robert goes.
What?
Before he goes, hey Roger,
Yes,
don't
sir.
forget me, brother. I'm still down here thinking about you. And you know what? I'm sending good prayers and everything to you, brother. And you know what? You will be hip to be square, brother.
Thank you, sir. Hey, I wish we could listen to your radio show. Is there any way we could do that?
You can stream it online.
But
You-
they, yeah, but if you do, but you can't dance yet because your hip's not right.
You can't be dancing, Roger.
No one-legged dancing.
No one-legged dancing. Hey, Chad, Erica,
I'll let you know, brother.
y'all can actually look up Rivers Radio Show. It's a FM station in Melbourne, Australia. It's the Inky and Pinky Show.
No. It's not
No?
Melbourne. No, it's Tribe FM, 91.1 in South Australia.
Okay. All right, there we go.
91.1 South Australia.
Yeah.
Is it called?
Tribe
Tribe
FM,
FM.
91.1. You can stream it. We're on next weekend, 1 to 4, which is a Greg's time 6 till 9. Yeah, in Alabama.
Is
The
that
one-
on YouTube?
But
Yeah, well, I'll look it up just on the internet. I Google it. But the way
Yeah.
I can remember what the numbers are is I think a 911 because it's 91.
What? It is 1.1.
it's 91.1. It's 91.1. It's not.
Are you?
It's 91.1.
Yeah, I know, but it's still 911 with a point.
Hey, River.
I know,
River.
and that's what makes the emergency music to Australia with the Tribe FM.
Are you Inky or Pinky?
I'm
River?
Inky. My mate's
You're-
Pinky.
Oh.
I'm Inky because of my tattoos. You see?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
okay.
yeah, we understand.
All right. Well,
Can
guys,
we hear the story on Pinky? How?
y'all just got to meet us.
Well,
Y'all
this
just
is
got
a
to meet
different
us.
show.
Hey, but look, guys, from me, hey, thank y'all. Appreciate everybody. Big love to everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. I mean, if
For
throw
sure.
Hey,
us
Misty.
throw
Yes,
us a
sir.
thumbs up. Tell everybody.
Misty,
Yes.
are you still there? Are you still there,
Greg.
Misty?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I've got your address. I'm going to send you stuff, all right? And it's from down under. And it's got to do with some stuff that I said to you before that I'll send, but I'm going to do it. And it'll be in the next 2 weeks, all right?
I am not in no hurry for that. I know
Okay.
I know
But
you've
it's
got
good.
stuff going
And
on.
it's got nothing to do with mushrooms.
They'll probably get confiscated anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that noise? Give me that.
It's a
It's got to do with
voodoo
it's
doll.
got to do with a possum.
It's a voodoo doll of Spencer.
Oh yeah, you got it. You got it. You got it.
Well, Misty, what do you got to tell everybody before we get going?
Just that I appreciate y'all coming on. I appreciate everybody hanging out with us on what is it, 2:30 on a Monday morning.
But it's
Especially the ones that are
what's the
getting up.
weather like up there?
Y'all are some
What's the
troopers.
weather like up there at the moment?
Start
It's
to
good
go.
right now.
It's
It was
nice.
about to
It's
storm.
fixing to get cool.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Ooh.
Good luck, Misty. I hope everything's okay with.
It's done past now. Can you see the
Okay,
man
good.
behind me?
Good.
Did it rain you far out?
It didn't even rain. It just got really, really windy and it blew around like it always does. We never get rain here. All right,
Yeah,
y'all.
ours-
Thank you
Hey,
so
Chad,
much for coming on.
welcome to the beautiful family.
Aw.
Thank you, River. Thank
Thank
you.
you, River.
All right. Y'all have a good night.
I mean, like I'm welcome
night,
to
y'all.
Australia.
All right.
We love y'all.
See you.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks
Bye,
for
y'all.
the.
We're going to-
Squirrel.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Spencer. We're swapped
Hello,
around.
Huh?
We're swapped around again.
Yep. I know you do it on purpose.